Here we go. And Seattle will start on the 25 as we go downstairs to Tom Rinaldi.
In a very raucous Ford Field, as EA said. Wow, it's loud.
About to find out what they do. Here's Kenneth Walker looking for his seam, and a nice move for Walker, who breaks the tackle and has got a first down and more. That's a heck of a run to start it off for Seattle. There is Walker again. This time not much room. And getting the offense going early, I know you feel, is really important for them. On second down, Smith looking to throw for the first time. Comes near side to Smith and Jigba, who makes the catch.
In these down and distances to protect those two tackles.
And we got our first penalty of the day, and this might be a delay of game. Let's see.
12 players in formation on defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
Walker cut up the middle, not much room there. Played well by this Detroit defense, which came out and really gave Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs all kinds of problems last week. And Smith back to throw it. Coming over the middle to Walker. Makes a turn. Kenneth Walker surging forward. He's got another first down. Seventh play of this opening drive. It's Geno Smith looking deep. Throwing deep. It's Metcalf. Makes a man miss. DK Metcalf inside the 20.
Geno's very comfortable throwing the ball to the sidelines.
There's Walker. Stutter step. Coming outside and not much there. Maybe or Derek Barnes with a solid tackle. On a second down. And a whistle blows and this play is dead. Seattle may have moved here.
Yeah, I think Will Dissly was the number 3 receiver.
Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Second down and long. Pressure coming. Smith gets it over the middle. The tight end Dissly, who gets across the original line of scrimmage, but still going to bring up a third and long. 3rd and 8. Blitz coming. Smith sees it. Fires over the middle. Metcalf makes the catch. Down at the goal line, and he's down inside the 1.
This is a big-time throw, but watch this catch. A little post route. This ball is thrown behind him. That is an unbelievable catch. Now you're going to see Seattle. Sometimes out here on the perimeter, the slightest flinch by a defensive.
First and goal. It's Walker. He is still on his feet. And now he's shoved backwards and he's got nowhere to go. Aleem McNeil is the guy who blew it all up. And now a penalty at the end, though. Smith going end zone, incomplete, and a penalty. Lockett, the intended receiver, Jerry Jacobs, had the coverage, and let's see. Walker leaping. He did not get there. Down just short. Aleem McNeil also out of the game, so Detroit a little banged up on this opening drive. Second and goal here. Walker walks in for the touchdown. What a drive for Seattle right down the field, and an opening statement here in Detroit.
Watch the job here on the left side, just distorting the defense. Man, and Kenneth Walker's not touched till he's 3 yards in the.
And now the extra point attempt from Jason Myers. Up and good. That is an exclamation point for Seattle. We'll see when they are back on the field. Right now, though, time for the Lions to get a chance to answer on offense. And they will start on their own 25-yard line, and here comes Jared Goff.
Dan Campbell told us he's a better quarterback today than he was when we got him.
Here's David Montgomery, the ex-Bear, who had a great week last week and starts off this week pretty well, too. A quick 8-yard run.
And this is an elite group.
Goff going quick. First read not there. Neither is the second on the run. Rolling out. Has a completion. There's the tight end, the rookie, Sam Laporta. There is Montgomery. Breaks the initial tackle and another couple and still turning his legs all the way out to midfield. That's a good hard run. Going to pick up 6 yards there. Jahmyr Gibbs in the game now. He's at the bottom of your screen. The electric rookie from Alabama. Goes out in motion. Goff looking that way. Gets it to him. Makes the catch. Has a first down. And you're going to see a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs today.
Coming on the motion First down catch.
Now he's in the backfield. Get it as a carry on the pitch. Breaks to the outside. Oh, what a tackle that was.
That they can build on for a long time.
Second and long, penalty flies, free play. Goff coming near side, back shoulder. Josh Reynolds has it, first down, and he's trying to fight his way down to the 21. They'll mark him at the 22, but Reynolds going to pick up 20.
Goff knows that he's got a free play, and instead of just chucking it down the field, see how Witherspoon...
Offside. Defense number 55, that penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So, Kev, Goff sees that Witherspoon, they call it playing on the high side.
First down, Goff protected, going end zone, Reynolds hangs on, touchdown!
What an answer, nice job here. Josh Reynolds ends up being the inside receiver after the motion. Perfect ball. Goff puts that ball right on his chest, allows him to protect himself. And we got some fireworks here early, KB.
Nice job on the hole. Your serve, Seattle. DJ Dallas back to receive. Shorter kick. He's going to take it. No fair catch here. With that new rule, and it hurts him just across the 20. Back to the touchdown, Greg. Geno Smith, blitz picked up, gets it out in the flat. Jackson Smith and Jigma makes the catch, and then is forced out of bounds. At 2 of 3, Chasey Walker in at safety, by the way, longtime starter here, relegated to the bench this year. Here is the pitch out, coming the other way, and a good strong run with his back, still going. Oh my goodness, what a run that was by Charbonnet with his back turned. Charbonnet stays back there, gets it again, looks for a seam, not much of one there. Yeah, to your point, Greg, on Charbonnet, you think about what he did last year at UCLA. Second down. Smith throws incomplete. Play clock at 1. They get it off. Smith, quick hitter. Jackson Smith and Jigma wrapped up immediately. Alex Anzalone said no way. And the Seahawks will have to punt. Now Khalif Raymond back to receive. He's got 1 punt return touchdown in his career. It's a booming punt. Raymond from the 11 is smashed. Oh my goodness. Here is Montgomery. Up the middle, fighting hard. Good strong running from David Montgomery.
Right now, we'll update you with information as soon as we have it, guys.
That's obviously huge. Play fake. Goff has all day. Wide open over the middle. It's Laporta, the tight end, with room to roll. Chugging his way out across the 30. Jahmyr Gibbs in the game at running back to start this second. They give it to him. And he is contained rather well that time. Bobby Wagner, the longtime Seahawk. Here's Goff. Coming near side. Antoine Green makes the catch. That's his first NFL catch. The rookie from North Carolina. 3rd and 7 here. Pressure coming. Goff gets rivet over the middle. Pass is caught right around the first down marker. Gibbs has it. It looks like he's got a first down.
With a guy who is an elite receiver for the running back position.
Lions go fullback here. Montgomery, who gets sworn by Mario Edwards. Right through the line came Edwards, the veteran. And he made a nice play.
You're going to see Edwards. He's just going to get penetration right in the backside and then just play downhill. And that play had no shot. Forced Detroit to operate in passing situations. That is not what they want to do.
4-man rush this time. Goff loading up, coming near side. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his first catch of the day.
Why he's regarded as one of the top play callers in the league.
Here is Montgomery right up the middle and a big hole and a first down. David Montgomery behind that offensive line all the way down to the 37 with a 16-yarder.
Old school trap, Kevin. They're going to bring the right guard. Vaitai, he just comes and traps, and David Montgomery just runs right down. They're going to trap, get up. They're not going to block this tackle. Watch, kick out. They call it run the midline. Right.
Montgomery, good seam here, and he slides his way inside the 35. Here's a fake. Pressure coming, picked up. Now Goff gets it away to Gibbs. Gibbs, 2 men to beat, and he's shoved out of bounds by Trey Brown. He's going to be, we'll call it a 1.5 yards short of a first down here. 3rd and 1. It is Montgomery in trouble. Spins away from one, but not the next three. Uchenna Nwosu.
Well, I think he's going to stay. Look, they bring Brock Wright. They're trying to kick out Jaron Reed. We knew coming in, KB.
4th and 4. Goff protected. Can't find anyone. Knocked away. Great play by the rookie, Devin Witherspoon, and Seattle will take over. How's that for a play? On 4th down. Bang. Pete Carroll loves it. So all the 3 starters who were hurt on the first drive for the Lions are all back in there now. As here is Geno Smith on a fake. Had a lot of pressure. Throws it out to Lockett. It was wide open, and he's got a 1st down. But what a job just to get rid of it by Geno Smith there. Here's another fake. Smith has some time going down the far side of the field. It is caught. Noah Fant, the tight end, had a step. And a big gainer. And a 1st down for Seattle. But hold on, there's a penalty in the secondary.
Yeah, really nice play design. They motion Noah Fant over. He runs a little out and up wheel. He gets matched up one-on-one there with the linebacker, James Houston. That's not his specialty. He's a pass rusher.
Another fake. Smith has time again. Steps up. Going for the end zone for a lock, and it's incomplete.
He just kind of threw it out of bounds.
2nd down on a draw to Walker. He gets stacked up. Nowhere to go. Got to get to the 17. Smith standing in. Now he's in trouble. Back foot throw. Incomplete. Had time initially, but then it started to break down, and a good job on coverage by Detroit.
Another example here.
45-yard attempt from Jason Myers, and it's no good. He hooked it. A lot of movement for the Lions. Get it to Montgomery. Has a nice seam and a good cut for David Montgomery, who hustles his way out to the 40. He's got 5 yards on the carry behind Penei Sewell.
I don't know if he's a guy in the slot. You'll see him here at the top of the screen.
Goff looking that way, throwing that way, and he's got a completion and a 1st down. Here's Montgomery, and he goes nowhere. And so it'll be 2nd. Jahmyr Gibbs in the game in the backfield. Get it to him. Speedy to the outside, breaks a tackle, and then is taken down. It'll bring up 3rd down. We've got another game break with Carissa. You see the average to go on 3rd down, a big difference. The Lions almost less than half. 3rd and 6 here. Here is Goff. Over the middle, delivers, incomplete. And the fans want a penalty, and they get it. Gibbs, flea flicker. He's got a man. Goff loading up. Khalif Raymond. He's got it. Touchdown, Detroit.
So they start with the short motion on the rookie Witherspoon. He puts his eyes in the backfield when he hands it, and that's all he needed. Once he gets on top, Khalif Raymond. They typically target young players with those plays, and in that time it paid off, Kev. Dialed up the perfect trick play at the right moment.
Dallas going to let it go. They'll start at the 25. Walker. Good tackle. That is something else from C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Kenneth Walker has 12 yards on 9 carries. Detroit all over the run game. Smith loads up. Good throw in stride to Lockett. Is going to be a yard short of a 1st down.
A lot of them today have been long must-pass situations, so we'll see what they do here.
Yeah, they go empty. Hutchinson coming with pressure. Smith in trouble. Rolling, looking, throwing, and it's caught. Jackson Smith and Jigma crossing the field in time for a 1st down. There's Walker again, trying to find someone on the left side. Breaks out of a tackle. Walker still taken down. Unreal effort, but he just couldn't get away. 2nd and 9. 2-man rush. That's it. Smith tries to throw it the opposite side of the field, and that is not going to go anywhere. Jake Bobo, the rookie, comes down with it.
This is a critical down.
Here is Smith. Blitz is picked up. Smith can't find anyone. Now he's going to run. Has to outrun a couple people. Tries to get there. Won't. but it's 4th and manageable if they decide to be aggressive and go for it, which Pete Carroll normally doesn't do. High kick inside the 10, make it at the 5. Wow, that is some job. And Jake Bobo with the catch, and so a long way to go for Detroit.
Key here for Detroit is they want to try to get this first down. Then they can get into a little more up-tempo.
Montgomery pushing the pile still out to the 11.
See if they pick it up here and get more aggressive on 2nd down.
Here's Goff. 4-man rush over the middle. Oh, in and out of the hands of Gibbs, who would have been running for a while. 3rd down. Blitz coming. Goff rolling. Flag flying. Goff throws it away. And that very well could be a penalty on Detroit. It will be.
So that's a huge play.
Here's Jack Fox to punt it away from his own goal line. High, booming kick. And Dallas calls for a catch. Smith, pressure, sees it, throws it, gets it to Charbonnet. Does he get out of bounds? Yes, he does. But a short gain, only up to the 41.
You bring out the field goal unit, and you're feeling pretty good about the way this final minute and a half has played out if you're Seattle.
Smith, near side, Lockett. He's trying to get it out, and he won't get out either. It's a 1st down, but the clock winds, and Seattle going to come up to the line here. They don't spike it either. 24 seconds. Blitz coming. Smith, near sideline again. Again, it's inbounds, caught by Fant.
Yeah, I think they got to use their last timeout, yeah.
4-man rush. Smith throws Lockett inside the 40. Now they've got to get up and spike. It should have time.
Yeah, plenty of time. Well done, well executed. Make sure everybody's set.
And they do. That's a great job. And so the Seahawks will at least have a look at a field goal here. Here is Myers. Hold is good. Kick is up long enough, and it is no good. 0 for 2 in the half. Looks like they might take a shot. Go Hail Mary here. 4-man rush. Goff steps up, going deep. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Got it! Lost it! Seattle picks it up. Let's see here as Julian Love has the fumble recovery. And this is going to be the end of the half. My goodness, I thought he was going to score for a minute. He was in stride, but then lost the ball, and Seattle picks it up, and that's the end of the 1st half. Defense
needs to come out and get a big stop. Give a chance for their offense to go back and tie this thing up.
Let's go downstairs to Tom.
We need to get production right now. This quarter is vital. Guys.
First they'll need it from their D, and that's a pretty good start. Ball is loose on the ground, and I think Seattle's got it. Tom just said it, get production, and they get it from their defense as Jaron Reed picks up the fumble, and they're in business.
Watch what he does on the far side to Laporta. He just bullies him in the backfield, creates the fumble, and then, as you said, Jaron Reed falls on it. That's exactly, watch what he does here. I mean, he just displaces the young tight end, puts the big hit on Montgomery, and then it's just an absolute free-for-all for the ball. But you talk about setting the tone in the 2nd half. Pete Carroll was very mad last week how they played against the Rams. Well,
look at this formation. Started out with Smith on the fake, lofting deep, has Parkinson at the 5, makes a move down to the 2. It's Colby Parkinson, excuse me, the 3rd tight end who delivers a setup of 1st and goal.
This formation a lot last week in the run game. Now they have a little complement. Nice job. They slipped Will Dissly, the 1 tight end, in the flat. Now, can they finish this drive in the red zone with 6?
Try to do it with the run game with Walker dancing outside, and he's in for the touchdown. 2nd of the day for Kenneth Walker, and an extra point away from tying this game up.
You talk about avoiding the sudden change turnover. Seattle takes over deep in the Lions' side, and Kenneth Walker is able to pay it off with the goal line run. We got ourselves an all-square ball game here early in the 2nd half.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that is good. And we're tied at 14. Downstairs we go to EA.
They are hard to beat off. Well, guess what? We're in one.
Yeah, you said it. Sure are. All tied. Here's Goff launching over the middle, and it is. Oh, caught. Amon-Ra wrestled it away. St. Brown with a beauty, and he's got 26 yards.
Well, we talked earlier about just it's a hard matchup on him in the slot, let alone for a safety, Julian Love. That is just an unbelievable throw and catch. Nice change there by Detroit. They went 3 tight ends, only 1 receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Julian Love was all over him. 27-yard game. Gonna run it, coming near side. Montgomery looking for a little redemption. Shoulder down, first down and more, and there's a penalty at the end here.
I can tell you, that felt good for Montgomery. It's a lonely feeling on the sideline, and you see there, that's what they called on Trey Brown, number 22. I know it's only a 13-yard gain.
Foul, face mask for grabbing the helmet opening. Number 22 of the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play.
I think we'd sign up for that. What do you think? 100 points?
Count me in. Here's a play fake. Goff comes back against the grain. Montgomery with blocks. Montgomery still on his feet. Inside the 5. Bullying his way to the end zone, but there is a penalty down.
Pass interference.
Yeah.
Offense number 8. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous 5. Replay first down.
Yeah, so what happens here, KB? So this is different than in college.
Just talking to Dean Blandino, says he doesn't love the call. David Montgomery in as a Wildcat quarterback here. They're going to come near side of Jahmyr Gibbs, and that doesn't fool anybody.
I don't think that's what actually happened. I think that's a tough one.
Here's Goff. Stands in, delivers in stride. It is caught by St. Brown. He's heating up. And he looks to be a little hurt here at the end of this run. He is. He's in some pain. Montgomery is not going to get there. Goff, St. Brown on the trap. He's got the first down. What a cool looking play that was. And they flip it to St. Brown, and the drive continues.
That's a big 4th down gamble. We've talked about it. That is Dan Campbell's pedigree.
Montgomery up the middle, nothing there. Jaron Reed makes a stop. That's Gibbs in motion. 2nd and goal. Here's a fake. Goff looking. Laporta, the tight end, is going to be denied. He's taken down by Jordan Brooks at the 4. Montgomery again. Montgomery right up and in. Touchdown, Detroit.
We kind of called out the young rookie, Sam Laporta. Watch the job he does now. So we got to give him credit. That is a one-on-one pancake block there. That's how you bounce back as a young player. You get beat bad, you give the other team a fumble recovery. Now he makes the block for the touchdown. Nice job by him.
And Barry, just incredible. They put up a statue for him outside the stadium yesterday. There's DJ Dallas up across the 30 and a nice little return. Geno Smith, blitz, he's in trouble, gets it away somehow. DK Metcalf has his 3rd catch. Boy, lucky to get that pass out of there.
When it's in the shoe, try to protect that toe from flexing too far.
On 2nd down, here is Walker. Walker up to the 40. Smith on the roll, throws on the run, completes, but I don't think he got there. No, the initial mark is he is short. That's Lockett, in a good solid tackle there by Brian Branch, I believe. They're going to run it to Walker. He's got it.
Giving them the green light to go for it on 4th down.
There's a fake pressure. Smith in trouble, stands in and delivers. Oh, that's a beauty of a play. And DK Metcalf on the receiving end for a 1st down.
And delivers a strike.
Here is Walker. And hopping over people out to the 35.
We saw him in week 1 give Kansas City Chiefs all they could handle.
Here's a draw. Walker has a seam this time. And some room at a 1st down, and he's inside the 25. Here's a fake. Smith lofting far side. It's caught by Will Dissly. He's got another 1st down, and then some, stays in bounds. And this is turning into a nice drive right now.
Another 3 tight end set here. Only 1 wide receiver. DK Metcalf, only receiver on the field.
Walker looking to get to the edge. He's in some trouble. Sutton strung it out. Cam Sutton came up from the cornerback and really blew that play up. Ball is loose. Smith picks it up. Lofting end zone. Metcalf. There's a flag, and it's incomplete. He still almost caught it. Blitz coming. Smith has to get rid of it. Does, and it's almost picked. Joseph had his eyes on it. That could have been a pick six.
Another great job in the red zone, but this ball comes out a little bit early. Wow, Kirby Joseph almost picks it because you see the pressure there. Brian Branch, the rookie nickel corner, comes off the slot unblocked.
Here's Jason Myers. He's 0 for 2 today. Normally very, very good. 25 yards on this one. Should be a gimme, and it is. So, Seattle satisfied, at least get some points on the board. They converted their fourth down. They get a field goal. And Seattle getting a little closer with the field goal by Myers. Make it a 4-point game. We go downstairs to Aaron Andrews. At the bottom of your screen right now, but they'll run it instead to Montgomery. And Greg, you brought up an interesting point because St. Brown gets hurt, comes out of the game, misses third down on that last drive.
That play gets scratched off, so give him credit coming back out there on a critical down.
2nd and 5, coming out near side. Montgomery out there makes the catch, still trying to surge forward, and he's got enough for the first down. Now Gibbs is in, get it to him. Jahmyr Gibbs tries to stretch to the edge.
Typically Montgomery takes that downhill run game is how they've had their most success today against Seattle.
Goff coming near side, and it is caught. There you go. Get him the ball out in space. Jahmyr Gibbs going to be up to the 45. 3rd and 2. Here right up the middle, and he's not going to get there. Bobby Wagner, just a beast. On the fake, Gibbs picks up the blitz. Goff rolls, incomplete. Fans want a flag, there is none. On that big fourth down, and now down 4, take over in Lions territory with 1,000,000 flags on this first play.
Ball start, offense number 60, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So good no call, Dean, we appreciate that. Seattle moves back 5, here's Geno Smith. Has time, just going to get it out in the flat to Charbonnet now, shoulder down, and Zach Charbonnet is going to get down to about the 41. And the answer is the jaw, by the way, no matter how much Pete jumps around. Here's Geno Smith, throws to Dissly on the run, breaks the tackle. Dissly on his feet inside the 30 and taken down there at the 27. Smith has time, gets it out to Jackson Smith and Jigma in the flat, and he turns nothing into something, gets down to the 22.
He's operating at a high level.
Here they're going to run it, though, to Charbonnet, who darts forward for a first down.
Yeah, you know, it's really cool to see, because last year where Geno Smith hung his hat, really where this entire offense in Seattle hung their hat.
Change in the play. Blitz coming. Geno lofting, and there was some miscommunication there. He wanted Lockett to go to the end zone, and he cut it for an out route.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here, excuse me. It's a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down. It'll be 2nd down.
Now Smith steps away from pressure. A lot of room to run. Geno Smith using the legs. Geno is inside the 15. Attempt here after a 15-yard run.
Well, this is one of the things about man coverage. Every single defender of the Lions is matched up one-on-one man. And if the front 4 don't do a good job keeping the quarterback in the pocket.
3rd and 5, 4-man rush. Smith pressured, flag flies. Smith has a first down if this stands.
It's an illegal formation.
Illegal formation. Offense, the right tackle was not covered. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Smith goes to Lockett, who's got a first down. 1st and goal, run a little option. Charbonnet has some work to do, and he's upended as Kirby Joseph came up to make the stick. On the fake, Smith has time. Lofting end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Tyler Lockett, and Seattle's in front.
They just start him here, and he's just going to run a dead sprint to the back corner of the opposite pylon. And you talk about dropping in a bucket. That's about as good a throw as you can ask out of your quarterback. And Talk about an answer. 3rd and 10 conversion to lock it, keeps the drive alive. 2nd and goal, it goes back to him again. Take the lead.
Up and good. A lot of time left. It's been a back and forth affair all day long. Craig Reynolds will take a knee.
In a league where we want a verdict on a quarterback's career after 1 year, these guys are a testament to a little patience.
Here's Craig Reynolds getting his first carry of the day with the injured Montgomery. This is a big storyline as we go downstairs to EA. 4-man rush. Goff has time, slings over the middle. Good high catch there by Gibbs going up and getting it.
Kind of run through contact back and
Goff pressure over the middle in stride. It's Reynolds who had the touchdown on the opening drive, and that time Goff with a perfect throw.
But I also give credit to Goff. I mean, he's a guy that had a lot of success, but was open-minded to the coaching.
He's in trouble here, though. Can't find anyone, and he's going to go down. The first sack of the day for either team.
Well, look, Craig Reynolds in the game, their 3rd running back. He's in pass protection. They bring slot pressure. Artie Burns come off. And meanwhile, Gibbs is wide open. We know he got carted off, and it's just next man up.
Pressure coming again. Goff hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. There is Trey Brown, open to the end zone, and he's going to score. Let's see what happened there as Brown took it back to the house for 40 yards.
We've seen them run this little choice route out of the backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs a lot, and in this case, they zone it off. And if he's wide open, if he just puts that ball on his front shoulder pad, he's wide open. I think the pressure off his right side just was enough to disrupt him, and we mentioned the tackles moving around. Penei Sewell going to left tackle. Matt Nelson now moving to the right tackle spot with Taylor Decker. Nothing but green grass in front of him, and that is a game-changing play right there, to say the least.
Sure is. Extra point is up and good. By the way, his first career interception, and it goes for a pick 6. Is that good?
I think that's a pretty good start. I mean, you just saw that graphic. The 3 turnovers by Detroit, 0 by Seattle.
Lions find themselves down by 10. Largest deficit of the day. A little flip here to Raymond, who gets smoked out across the 33-yard line by Quandre Diggs. And there's a penalty back by Goff, too. It might be an additional 15 yards. Here is Goff. Goff loading up over the middle. Incomplete. Raymond, the intended receiver, but Brown is there again. Greg, he played 20 snaps total last year. He tore his patellar tendon. Having a 4th quarter for his career. Here's Goff. Pressure again, and Goff is going to be dropped by Draymond Jones. They gave him $51 million to come over from Denver, and he gets his first Seattle sack.
The original, they're going to run a little stunt. And originally, the Lions do a nice job picking it up, but Jones just continues to work. Tends to play out of, but they got no choice in this case. They got to operate and keep this drive alive.
And no Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's cramping back in the locker room. Goff over the middle. Laporta caught it. How on earth did he catch that? And he's got a first down. Are you serious?
Thinks he's jumping this, and the big body of Laporta, not only to secure the catch, but then to have the understanding to keep his balance and pick up the remaining yards for the first down. I mean, that is a critical catch there by the young rookie, and you can see why.
Here's Goff on the fake. Now looking to set up a screen. Gets it there, but nowhere to run. Craig Reynolds looked to have some room, but Jordan Brooks said no.
Way out in front of his lineman, so they go fake swing to the left. But now watch how far, see how far out in front Reynolds is? He doesn't allow his lineman. The timing of that's just thrown off.
Here's Gibbs, 2nd and 12, dancing up the middle, breaking a tackle, making Reynolds. That time, not Gibbs. And it'll be a 3rd down.
If the first down throw's not there, check down, get some yardage. Oh, they keep it on the ground.
Going to run, and Gibbs is going to get a first down. You believe that? A 3rd and 7, and they give it to Gibbs, and he gets it.
Find yourself down 3.
There's Goff. Looking to throw over the middle, has a completion to Laporta, who breaks free. Laporta inside the 10. Sam Laporta, what a drive. Another big catch, and it's 1st and goal for the Lions.
Tell you what, this kid's impressive, Kev. Just a little seam stop. Julian Love thinks he's going to run a go ball, and again, the second time where he's made a contested catch and run through contact and be able to pick up additional yardage. You see Laporta.
Reynolds, right side, down to the 4 with 3:40 to go. They do have 3 timeouts left, but obviously time a factor. Here they go quick. Goff, first read not there. Second read is there! Touchdown Reynolds!
You lead your team down on a really impressive drive. Nice job there by Reynolds fighting through contact. Great 4th quarter there. He gets beat for the touchdown, and we got ourselves a ball game here.
Back to a 3-point game with 3:08 to go.
Pretty impressive job there by this Lions offense and Jared Goff.
10 plays, 75-yard drive. Now Seattle will get it back. DJ Dallas looking for a little bit of a seam, and there isn't much of one there. On the fake, Smith in trouble, gets away, avoids a sack. A great job just to stay out of a sack and gain a yard. Fake to Walker, blitz coming, tipped by Hutchinson, and it's incomplete. They almost got it. He had 3 interceptions last year, nearly had 1 this year. Smith, blitz, picked up initially over the middle. There's a flag. Parkinson's got it for the 1st down, but let's see what the penalty is.
He came off.
Pass interference, offense number 84. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
They have to get to the 38. Smith stands in trouble, dancing away, still on his feet. Smith trying to make something happen. He's tackled inside the 5.
But he can't take that loss. Just end it in the pocket. Let the 2-minute warning come. So I understand what Geno Smith is thinking. He's saying, all right, if the throw's not there, a sack for no lost yards is not a big deal. Force either the 2-minute warning or make Detroit use a timeout. But once the play was extended this long, that ball needs to be thrown out of bounds. The ball was snapped with 2:11.
He's got to watch his foot. He's right on that back line. Khalif Raymond set to return. First got to get it off, which he does. It's a monster kick, my goodness. Raymond from the 34. Looks for a seam. Has a little bit of one. Raymond all the way up to midfield and then is tackled down right there. Goff over the middle. It is caught. That's good for a 1st down going to Josh Reynolds again. He's had a big day with 2 touchdowns.
Expect at some point take a shot and try to end this.
Here's a fake. Oh, they flip it around to St. Brown. Naked Khalif Raymond. Oh, Raymond gets there. He's got another 1st down. 34 seconds ago. Well within field goal range. Trying to win it now. Goff over the middle. Just going to dump it off inside the 25 there. It's Gibbs.
Yeah, they'll take their 1st timeout.
Here is Goff. Stands in, low throw, incomplete. Looking for St. Brown. 4-man rush. Goff over the middle. It is Gibbs inside the 20, but he's not going to make a 1st down. Patterson boots it right down the middle. Overtime, here we come. Just think Seattle had a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter after the pick 6 at the end of the 3rd. Lions came back to tie it up at the end of regulation, and we play overtime. Start with a play fake. Smith has a lot of time. Over the middle, fires. It's caught by the tight end, Noah Fant, who's got a 1st down. It's a good start on the play pass to the tight end. Another play fake. Blitz is coming. Smith sees it, in trouble, and now just throws it in the dirt. Tried to set up the backdoor screen, but Detroit had too much pressure. 2nd and 10. Another blitz coming. Smith sees it, goes far side, and that is up to the 45 with Fant again. 3rd and 6 here in overtime. Smith has time over the middle. It's caught by Metcalf. Big throw from Geno Smith and a first down for the Seahawks.
Whole defensive scheme. Look, it's inside leverage. It's 2-man. The whole premise of the defense is you can't get beat on an in-breaking route. Going right into the teeth of that defense. Big time play.
DJ Dallas. I'd like to welcome those of you who watch the Tampa Bay Bucks go to 2-0 with a win over the Bears. This has been an absolute thriller. 2nd and 7. Another fake. Smith lofting has a man wide open. It's Parkinson, the tight end, and another first down inside the 15. If not, we keep playing. Smith on the give. Walker. Nothing to the right. Comes back up the middle and just chugs his way for nearly 4 yards. Impressive run. Here is Smith coming near side. It is caught again by Metcalf. It's going to be short of a first down, but it will be 3rd and short. Smith to throw. Pressure from Hutchinson. Runs away. Great throw. Lockett diving for the end zone. It's over. The Seahawks win it.
But I think he clearly gets the ball inside the pylon. We'll get a good look here. Let's see here, he's obviously in. Oh yeah, that's a touchdown. Walk-off win, Seattle.
What a game. What a game. I mean, each team just back and forth. And after Geno Smith lost 17 to give Detroit a chance, he takes this team down the field to an impressive overtime victory. Here's the route.
Just, he comes in on a little swirl and then he just breaks it back out. But I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be a lot of Lions fans talking all week. I think Aiden Hutchinson gets held here. I mean, he's hogtied around his neck. That allows Geno Smith to break the pocket. I understand letting him play critical down. You'd hate to see a penalty change it. I think Geno Smith earned that drive.